Dudes Behind the Foods is brought to you by BetterHelp. Look, man, sometimes you just need someone to talk to. Life gets stressful, and sometimes you just need to vent. And I think mental health is very important. That's why we F with BetterHelp. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/foods. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/foods.
Dudes Behind the Foods listeners, have you heard of Masterclass? I highly recommend you check it out. This holiday, give the perfect gift of an annual Masterclass membership and get one free. Go to masterclass.com/dudes today. That's masterclass.com/dudes. Terms apply.
Dudes Behind the Foods. Yo, it's the dudes behind the foods. Dudes behind the foods. Yeah, it's the dudes behind the foods.
That's actually really fucking good.
Hi.
I do.
Yeah. Ooh. I do.
That's all I know.
What's the word? Helpless. What's up, man?
Just fucking chilling. Anybody who doesn't like Hamilton can suck my dick from the back.
You know, I'm such a big Hamilton fan. I love it. Our friend Alex Reed is not a big fan.
And guess what? She
Can suck your
my
dick from the back. Yes, and I will film it. I had to, when I got into a discussion about Hamilton with her, I already knew that whatever, because she's a big musical person, and as am I. And but I already knew that her mindset on it was gonna be like, it's not like a traditional musical, because I kind of know how her brain works from just different debates I've had with her. And I was like, she asked me what my favorite musical was. I didn't even bring Hamilton up because I knew she was just gonna be like push back on it, right? She's like, I wasn't really. I'm like, first of all, you gotta watch it live because you only saw it on Disney Plus. I'm like, live is like a whole other experience. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, Alex, you gotta watch it, man. I fucking cried watching that shit.
I cried too.
Yeah.
Twice.
I know, it's so good.
It's really fucking good, man. And the funny thing is like, when I didn't have much expectation out of it because I never watched musicals, but Hamilton was the fucking turnkey thing that just made me just go, let me just see what other musicals are there, huh?
We went in New York.
In New York.
Yes.
I had the whole New York fucking experience.
Because we were shooting with Thrillist.
It was Valentine's Day.
That's right. That's right.
We went on a Valentine's date together.
Me and this fool were in New York for like a week shooting a
was
bunch
so
of
fun.
food content with Thrillist. And I was like, yo, I gotta take you to watch Hamilton. And I might have had like a SeatGeek plug or something. Or no, we paid for those tickets.
Yeah.
We paid for those tickets. I was like, bro, you gotta go. Because I knew you would love it. And
It's so fucking good, man. It was hilarious. The music was fucking dope. And then it kind of built up to this emotional point towards the end where I was fucking tearing up.
dog, look, the first time I saw Hamilton and during the part you're talking about, everybody was fucking crying in that shit.
It was so good. And then you also took me to see
Book of Mormon.
Book of Mormon, which I cried for a different reason.
I know, it's back in LA right now. Look, if y'all ever get the chance to watch a Book of Mormon, go watch that shit. It's probably like, they say it's the funniest musical on Broadway. 100% agree. My fucking cheeks hurt from laughing and smiling when I watched that shit, bro.
I was laughing so fucking hard. I was kind of shocked how funny it was.
Yeah.
Like that, it was like I was watching a stand-up show.
It's from the writers of South Park.
Well, there you go.
And they, if you watch South Park back now, they had a lot of like musical episodes. I mean, the South Park movie is like a musical, basically. It's like a musical animated movie, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you watch it, it's like you watch and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they're making these jokes, right? And I kind of like, I feel like if let's say they were to like make it a movie, I think they'd have to make it animated because I don't think people would be able to handle it as a real person movie. You know
cartoons get away with all these type of jokes, but the moment you put like a real human being there, it just doesn't fly anymore.
It's like, oh no.
No, we can't do it. But if it's a Family Guy thing, it's a cartoon.
Exactly.
Which I find hilarious.
You want some tequila?
I do want some tequilas.
David, so I haven't, I'm glad we're turning up a little bit today.
Oh, dude, listen.
Drinking by yourself, not fun.
Look at us. Wow, neat tequila. You know, normally I put a little ice with mine, but we don't have any ice. And this is the good stuff, so...
Yeah, man.
Bucket, man. Here you are, sir. Here, do you want the one with less?
I'll take a little less because you can drink more than me, you motherfucker.
Cheers.
Oh, yes. I feel quite astute, profound.
Delicioso.
Oh, yes. This right here, my friends. Sweet and smooth as it just drips down the back of my throat like a good thick cum.
Like a nice, delicious, molassesy, pungent, warm load of cum from the cock of the finest steed in the land.
Yes. It's fucking disgusting, dude.
Yeah, that's really gross. You know, I was gonna, this is what I wanted to talk about, bro, that I kept forgetting to bring up. Did y'all know that me and David were supposed to be on The Amazing Race?
So that's so funny. You were talking about in the previous episode about you doing the fucking obstacle courses and dying. What the fuck would have happened if we were on The Amazing Race?
It would have been great TV.
It would have been. Listen. When you told me you had to do the Marine course, I was like, dude, The Amazing Race is 10 times worse because I had to catch up because I haven't seen The Amazing Race since like the first 2 seasons.
Right.
That show got progressively crazier.
It did it?
And crazier.
Yeah.
So they were doing pretty nuts stuff. I saw the episode where Kevin Wu was on it.
Okay.
And
Kev Jumba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did some crazy shit, dude, with his dad.
Yeah, I know. His dad was worn out.
Well, the fucking thing about that show is too, like, if we were on it for a whole month, we would be without our phones.
I know.
Like, no contact with the world.
Yeah.
Even after, like, the show wraps, we don't get to go home. We would have to stay there, apparently, right?
Oh, I guess.
Yeah, so if it was like, let's say we got eliminated in the first, like, week or two, we would be in the hotel again.
Oh, because just in case, I don't know, someone else has to, and then we got to step back in.
They wouldn't let us have our phone. So we can't contact anybody.
All right, well, before I get into how that would have happened and why, would you like some vegan pizza?
Yes, please.
So, Slasher Pizza, actually, I've been told is a really solid vegan pizza option. You know, here's a thing I've been doing. I don't know if y'all know this, but I try to avoid cheese, okay?
I've never heard you say this before.
Well, it's a new thing I'm trying out for 2023.
Okay. And 22 and 21.
And this episode is probably going to come out like right before, like a week before Christmas-ish.
Okay.
So Merry Christmas, everybody. And I've heard Slasher Pizza is good. Normally when I want to have pizza, I'll call places that have vegan options, like, I don't know, like a Blaze Pizza or something. And I'll be like, can I get my pizza made with vegan cheese, but can I get the Meat Lovers Pizza? And they'll be like, sure, are you sure? Are you sure this is what you want to do? And I'm like, look, man, fuck the animals. Fuck the motherfucking animals. I just not eating cheese, all right? And but this is a completely vegan pizza, even though there was options to have real meat, but I wanted to give Robin Couch something to eat because she's hungry in there.
Yes, her butt is hungry.
Her butt is hungry and it's just been munching on her panties all day. Oh my God.
Robin, that's a very appropriate joke. Please say it right now.
Or that's the brand name of your future thong company.
Oh, yes, ass munch.
Robin Couch is so fucking funny, you guys.
She's the fucking best.
Yeah.
Let's try it out, shall we?
Okay, here's the thing.
Yes, I know.
That texture of that cheese is whack.
I know.
But the flavor's good.
The flavor is good. And here's the thing. I'm so used to, I had to train my brain and tongue now to just be happy I can eat pizza. You know what I'm saying? Because I've been eating a lot of vegan cheese pizza for years now. The consistency of the cheese, when it hits your mouth, it's a little funny, right? It falls apart kind of funny in your mouth. It kind of like crumble melts in a weird way, right? Pero... And look, when I get a fucking little taste of some real cheese, my fucking body melts from happiness. It's like I take a whiff and I'm like, oh God, I miss this. But
I'll tell you this though, their fucking dough here is good.
Yeah, for someone who just has been eating vegan cheese pizza for a minute now, it's great. I would order this again.
Heavy on the garlic. The tomato sauce is really fire. Mm-hmm. And it folds up like that New York slice. Mm-hmm. I'd like mine a little more toastier.
The seasoning's really great. Here's what I would miss. Here's what I miss from that like New York foldy pizza. the grease.
Yeah.
If they could add some vegan grease or something,
olive oil.
something, yeah, a little more olive oil to give me that the grease.
A little extra virgin olive oil or something like that, just to kind of grease it up. Mm-hmm. Oh,
But this is good.
actually,
bad.
you know what? Eating this, not bad. Like, if I had this and say it wasn't vegan, it's still a good pizza. It's just a good pizza.
Yeah, I slasher pizza. I dig it. Thank you.
Buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Would you like to dip some? I double dipped though.
Oh.
This is the Wendy's ghost pepper. Oh no!
Oh my God, this is a fabric table.
That's Studio 71's fault.
Oh yes, come on, guys. We do a food podcast show.
Yeah, what the heck? Are you guys dumb? Okay. So, first of all, let me tell you this, all right? The Amazing Race hit up me and Chia to come on years ago, before we even got married. I'm talking about when I was living in my condo in Paramount. They hit up me and were like, we would love for you and your girl to submit because we think you're great. And if y'all know me in real life, then you would know that reality TV is something I'm very not trying to do, okay? Something I'm like avoiding. Even though I love watching reality TV, I fucking love it. I've been a big fan of like even the early shit, Real World, Road Rules, MTV shit from when I was a little kid, all right? When I was a little kid, I really wanted to be on Real World and represent for Asian dudes. I wanted to be one of the first Asian guys on Real World.
Just fucking smashing all the girls on the show.
Yeah, you know?
100%. I wanted to be on the one 300-pound monster or something like that.
What's that?
There's a show about, I don't think it's called 300-pound monster. I don't think that's correct. But I love watching fat people reality shows. It's like my favorite fucking shit on earth, dude. Because I was 300 pounds. So like watching that shit now makes me laugh because I see myself.
Yeah.
I can't have a Snicker. Ah! I'm like, damn, was I like that? And I was.
And you're great now. But you were cute as a 300-pounder as well.
Let me tell you something.
Well, actually, no, that's not true.
Okay. Let me tell you something. His wife is so fucking funny. When I met Chia, I had already lost the weight, a good portion of it. And she didn't connect the dots that the first episode that we shot of Send Foods was me.
Really?
Yeah. And she was like, she sent me like a screen cap and texted me. She goes, oh my God, who is this? I was like, that's me. She goes, who are you? She had no idea that was me.
I think she was making a joke.
I know. So I'm saying she's a bitch.
But you look completely different.
100. I had a moment the other day. I went to go get coffee, and I walked by my reflection, and I stopped, and I was like, damn, you don't look like how you used to. And I've never had that moment in the last 4 years.
You don't have to lie, bro. You looked and said, damn, you look good.
No, and I whipped my dick out, and I kept tapping people with it. Yeah.
And you jerked off to your own reflection.
But it was like one of those things where mentally you still look the same. Like, so when I walked by my reflection, I didn't recognize who I saw in that reflection. And I'm like, oh, you do look really different.
Yeah. I mean, you do, bro. Like, even from when I met you, you know what I'm saying? You had, like, fucking glasses. Your hair was different. You were huge.
And Tim likes the biggins.
Oh, I do. Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to fuck you as much anymore, but...
Tim doesn't hug me as long as he used to. He used to just go into my chest and just start going like...
and just stay there. But yeah, so I used to love reality TV. I still do. But like as I got older, I was like, if I want to really do acting shit, I don't want to do reality because I feel like, you know, there's like a line you cross. You know what I'm saying?
You become the reality TV star.
Yeah. So I didn't want to do that. So I avoided all reality TV. But when Amazing Race hit me up, hit up me and Chia specifically, Amazing Race, Chia used to love watching that show. And she was like, you know what? If there's one reality show I would do, it's The Amazing Race. And I'm like, for real? You're down for this shit? Because, you know, normally she doesn't want cameras all in her face, right? But she was like, I would do it. So I was like, okay, let's do it. Cool, sure. Let's travel and have fun.
I couldn't imagine her doing that show.
I know. That's what I'm saying,
Her
right?
dangling off of a cliff.
But she said she was down. I was surprised. So the fact that she was down, I was like, let's do it. So we submitted an adorable audition tape. We filled out this long ass questionnaire.
Oh, it's so long.
It's so long. And then literally after we submitted everything, they were like, no, we submitted the tape first and they were like, hey, oh, this is awesome. Great video. Thank you so much. Just fill out the questionnaire. Cool. Filled it out. And then literally a week later, they're like, hey, you know what? Actually, like, the spot's filled up. And I'm like, y'all hit me up for this shit. Like, what are you talking about? But I was like, all right, cool, whatever. I kind of always assumed that because me and Chia, you know, I wasn't hip to how production works, that maybe they were looking for drama because all the questions in the questionnaire was like, what do you and your partner argue about the most? What's the biggest argument you got into? I think they were looking for some type of drama, right? Back then, me and Chia were like, to be honest, we don't really argue that much. You know, I mean, now it's different. No, I'm just kidding. But
now I just wake up. I see her stupid dusty ass face.
And the rusted, dusty face. I'm like, ugh. Nah, but so I thought maybe it's because we got along too well. They didn't want us, right? But I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I wasn't trying to do reality anyways. Fast forward now to this past year. They said, hey, Tim, we would love, originally, again, it was for me and Chia. We would love for you and Chia to come be on The Amazing Race. I was like, wow, that's funny. You guys hit me up years ago, but that could be interesting. But, you know, of course, at this point, we had our new little baby Veda, and we were either trying to get pregnant or had just got pregnant again. So I'm like, nah, I can't travel with this pregnant wife, right? But they're like, well, do you have any friends that you want to do it with? It might be good. And I'm like, actually, check this guy out. Sent them a couple episodes of Send Foods, right? They're like, oh, he's great. And plus, it'd be great to get some more Asian representation. I'm like, amazing.
Hey, and I got the gookiest face in the game.
Oh, and it's so cute.
Thank you.
Now.
Hello. But before, wow. Yowza.
Yeah, before it was just like,
Scaly.
get my dick sucked, kick you out the hotel room.
At least I'm sucking dick, though.
One of those faces. So, sent them David. They were like, he's great. Submitted an audition tape, right? So, we fucking submitted a super funny audition tape. And then they had me cut a few of our jokes. And then again, filled out that fucking long ass questionnaire, but this time I was like, I'm hip. I know what they're doing. So I made up some bullshit that we argue about, right? And you filled out the same shit, right? We're making up shit. Oh, we argue about this, we disagree about this, so we can have a little drama for them, right? But still, again, they're like, hey, you know, man, actually, you know, we're gonna, not this time. I was like, what the fuck? And here's the thing, I was still like hesitant because I'm like, I'm not trying to do reality. I'm trying to be a fucking movie star actor, right? But in my head, I was like, okay, you know what? The opportunity's presenting itself. I feel like now is a time where someone that does reality can still cross over like Cardi B, right? Because she started off on Love and Hip Hop and doing Instagram shit. Now, you know, she's Cardi B. I was like, okay, maybe in the world now where clout does equal currency, maybe a little boost in numbers would be helpful all around. Like, sure, let's fucking travel the world for free, have an experience, get our IG followings up, right? Cool. But again, they fucking cock tease me.
You know what it is, man? It's like reality TV, like what people don't know about reality TV is reality TV up to a certain extent. Like a lot of the producers control what happens on these shows, right? Whether you're watching a cooking show, whether you're watching all this other stuff, 50% of that is fabricated. So they're looking for very specific type of personalities, and sometimes personalities overlap. So if there's somebody who is like, let's say on a similar vibe of being goofy and funny, they have to choose between those two. And then they'll choose the family with the heartwarming story.
Right.
Then the other one that's going through an addiction problem. So things are very, very, very much controlled in reality TV. And a lot of these earlier reality TV shows, a lot of it was super hyper fake.
Right.
They would be like, okay, in this thing, like, I need you guys to fight, you know, about this. Can you guys argue? And then they'll say some stuff and they'll have them argue like fake, but then it kind of gets serious and then it gets real.
Right. And then they're like, yes.
Yeah. And so this is kind of how it works. For me, I just wanted to be on the show just so I could be the funniest fucking person on that show. That's it. I wanted us to be the funniest fucking people that they have ever seen on fucking Amazing Race because it's essentially what we naturally do on our show anyways. We just do bullshit. And I would even tell them, like, you want us to fight? We'll have some dumb fights.
Yeah, dude. And in my head, I was like, this will also be same shit they were going for. I'm like, this will be great representation. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen Asian guys like us on a reality show. You know, there have been more Asian guys lately, and there have been sexy Asian dudes lately, but nobody who is equally as charming and hilarious and sexy as us, right?
The goofy Asian hasn't been there yet.
Exactly.
There's always a quiet, timid one.
Yeah.
There's a guy that's trying too hard to be like the sex symbol.
Yes, like to the point where he's like douchey, like his part is to be douchey, and it's like, we could have really repped, and that's part of the reasons why I was like, okay, I'm down for this, but I think the universe stepped in again and was like, no, Tim, don't do reality yet. You and David have still better things ahead, and I appreciate that, but it was also annoying. Like, what the fuck? Can y'all stop hitting me up for this shit if you're gonna just pull out?
Hey, man, listen, one of the toughest things about being in entertainment is like for me, like, I've been hit up so many times of, look, I want to do a TV show about you. Oh, I love your life story. I don't know how many fucking meetings I've had about that shit, to the point now where I'm just like, all right, fine, let's do this meeting. What's it about? Blah, blah, blah. And then it's always like they either pass on it or I'll find the idea that they were pitching to me and it's nothing like they said.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's why I didn't fit in it, right? So like, for example, I'll tell you this story. So I have a very different, unique story, right? I was like born in Sacramento, California. My parents owned this beauty supply store. My father's a pastor. I was a youth minister, you know, and then, you know, all these other like weird stories in between, like this whole idea of like cultural identity that you're kind of going through. But every time they take that story, they try to fucking fresh off the boat me. You know, they're like, okay, but what we want to do is, how about we do this instead? I'm like, no, that's not my life.
Right.
And it's not real. Like you're still pandering towards what you think like quote unquote white Hollywood wants. I was like, my story is my story.
So you were clinging onto a piece of driftwood with 25 cents in your pocket. You washed up on shore. Washed up on shore with a recipe for bulgogi beef.
You know, but that's kind of like what it is. You know what I mean? Like, okay, how about instead what we do is that your mother is blind. Like, no, this is not my story. My story is relatable to immigrant kids here, right? And it doesn't,
second generation.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be your type of shit. Like, people will fuck with it, but then you have somebody like Eddie Huang who put out his Fresh Off the Boat, and it was nothing like the way he wanted. And
Wait,
you know,
are we first generation or second generation?
I'm first, you're second.
Because my dad was here for a while first?
Yeah, because I think I'm like generation. I wasn't born here, so I'm generation 0.
Oh, I see.
You're first generation then.
Because I was born here.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, continue.
Yeah.
Eddie Wong, you were saying.
Yeah, so as like an immigrant, my story is very, relatable to people who had to adjust and acclimate to this country.
Right.
In a different way. And it's not like these cheap jokes of like, oh, people made fun of me because of my English. No, my story is like me trying so hard to be something that I wasn't, that I was so uncomfortable in my skin every fucking day. You know what I mean? And I think that's an important fucking story. And they just don't think that'll relate to people, or they try to water that shit down. It's
Because
like,
they can't relate.
exactly. It's like, nah, man, like this story is fucking important, dude. And it's fucking funny too. I remember on a pitch deck, I put up this, and people love this idea where it was like, I actually pitched this show that almost got picked up. And it was literally about me who married a black girl, right? So a black American girl and a Korean American guy. And we came together, and it's me trying to find where the cultural medium is between us. And we find out that we're actually a lot more similar than we are different. And our parents kind of are mirror images of each other, just on a different cultural spectrum. And that's really what it was. But then the title that they had for the show was so fucking, I'm not gonna say what the title is, but it was so bad, dude.
Really?
Yeah, and I just was like, this isn't gonna work. Like, you guys keep trying to change like the concept of the show. Like, I want people to like really fuck with the idea in the terms of like, teach somebody some shit too.
Yeah.
But they're just so gimmicky about it. I'm like, we're done with this. And they're gonna take that idea, watch, and it's gonna be on somebody else's shit.
Probably, man. When was this that you were trying to pitch it?
This was like 5 years ago. And I had like 6 or 7 meetings about this.
Damn.
A lot.
Well, we're gonna brainstorm some ideas for a TV show. We'll be right back.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp, BetterHelp. It's all about that mental health. Yo, this podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp, okay? Give online therapy a try at betterhelp.com/foods and get on your way to being your best self. Look, sometimes you just need somebody to talk to because you haven't been talking to anybody, you've been bottling up all these emotions, but that's where BetterHelp comes in handy, okay? Navigating any of life's challenges can make you feel unsure, whether it's a career change, a new relationship, or becoming a parent. That's why you need a therapist. Therapists are trained to help you figure out the cause of challenging emotions and learn productive coping skills, which makes therapy the closest thing to a guided tour of the complex engine called you, okay? As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists, available 100% online, plus it's affordable, okay? No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/foods. That's betterhelp.com/foods. So did they call the show Soul Food, but soul spelled S-E, however the fuck y'all spell soul?
SEOUL. Oh, God. And like the thing, too, is like, I understand when they kind of see like certain qualities that you have, they check you out. They go, okay, in this show, you're going to try to be an R&B singer. It's like, no, I don't want to do that.
Right.
Like, I understand, like, you guys know I sing and stuff, which is a kind of a cool thing you could add into the show, but I don't want that to be the heart of the show.
Right.
You know, so having to go back and forth with those arguments, Dude, I'm dying. Oh, God. I knew it. See, I told you he hugs me too long when I'm chunky. He only gave me the Heimlich for like 2 seconds.
I'm sorry. Yeah, get some. Your ass disappeared. I don't like it anymore.
You know what's so funny about this guy? Every time he texts me, he goes, "Dude, I finally wrote stuff for our movie." And then I get excited. He goes, "In my mind." Like, yo, fuck this guy.
Dog, the shit's like 70% done in my head. I just need to write it down.
He's been talking about this movie for fucking years. And when he finally said he got most of it done, he said it was in his head.
But you know what? Do these years of fucking doing it in my head, I've workshopped a lot of shit. A lot of shit's been there and a lot of shit's gone. And it's coming together.
You know, I used to scare Mariel because when I used to write sketches, I'm like workshopping the dialogue out loud. But I'll just be walking around the house and an idea will hit me. And I'll just be like, okay, motherfucker, this is what's going to happen. Blah, blah, blah. And she goes, who are you talking to? I'm like, oh, no. I'm thinking of an idea right now. So I'll always just like start talking to myself because I have to hear what it sounds like.
Yeah. I'll take your creep shit to the next level. Because you know how Chia goes to sleep super early, right? So there were times where, and I've written some stuff down. And so, but specifically one time, it was an argument between you and me that I was trying to flush out in this script, and I was typing it out, and I'm also saying it out loud, right? But I'm fucking like whispering it to myself because Chia's in bed next to me. So she like kind of wakes up because she just hears me doing this. Are you kidding me? You didn't fucking, are you, but you're the one that blah, blah, blah. She's like, what? Are you okay?
Hello? Babe? What are you doing? And I swear to God, I'll fucking kill you.
But yeah, man, look. Okay. This was my New Year's resolution for 2022.
And it's going to be the same one for 2023.
That's right, but I'm doing it this year is to get our fucking movie written. And then I'm going to hit up my people at CAA and be like, I got this movie. Do y'all want to do something with it? And I'll let them shop it around for a month. And if no one wants it, I'm just going to fucking get some money and do it.
Mm-hmm. And then you're going to finish that album.
God damn. Okay, album first.
Okay.
Because I've actually done more with the album.
That one is also 70% done in his mind.
That one's like 20% done. All right. If I can get the album done by like March, then I'm going to start grinding out this movie, dog. All right.
This is a good segue, right? Because this is probably going to come out around Christmas time.
Yeah.
What are your New Year's goals for next year?
I just told you.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so.
Okay, I'm talking about something that's going to happen.
Let me tell you something, dog. Chia's been with me. She has been with me for so long. Uh-huh. She's completely over any promises I make to her. For one, the album shit, she's been hearing this shit for like the past, I don't know. I got with Chia 11, 12 years ago. And so I put out my last album in fucking 2010, 12-ish, which is, yeah, like 10 years ago, 2012 maybe. So she's been here for like the whole time, being like, all right, I'm gonna work out a new album. I'm gonna fucking drop bars. And she's like, okay, babe. So every time I tell her anything, she's like, uh-huh. She's like, okay, well, you said you were gonna work out and get a nice body. You said you're gonna make an album.
This is what happens, right? Tim will be taking a shit, and then he gets hit with inspiration. He runs outside naked with toilet paper out of his ass. And he goes, babe, this, and she goes, huh.
To go flush the toilet.
Yo, that's the fucking weirdest thing he does. He keeps leaving shit in the toilet. Your wife is rich now because of you.
What? Okay, look, here's the thing. Yes, I forget to flush the toilet sometimes, and a lot of it has to do with I'll get random thoughts, and while I'm done, like, cause I'm sitting there, I'm shitting, and then I'm like, you know, we talked about this, and I'm like, and I wipe till I can't wipe anymore. I get up to fucking grab the wet wipes, but before I flush, I close the lid so I don't get poop particles everywhere. And then I'm wet wiping my life away to make sure I don't have any poop particles. And then I fucking wash my hands, and I'm like, you know, so I see my phone, I chuckle at something, I wash my hands, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't flush the toilet, right? But I looked it up, and that is something that is a potential thing that people with ADHD do.
They don't flush the toilet?
It is a thing.
What the fuck?
Where some people think of ADHD and you think of you kind of associate it with you're like, you have to keep, you don't want to make a mess, right? Like OCD, ADHD shit, you need things to be in a very certain order. Sometimes ADHD makes you leave a mess without thinking about it. Because you get so distracted or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And I looked it up, and it was like a lot of stories of like, yes, my ADHD, like, and I thought it was blah, 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 but you know, and so actually today at 5 p.m., I have a consultation with somebody to see if I legitimately have ADHD or not.
I'm so excited for you.
And then after she tells me I do have it, because let me tell you, filling out this questionnaire was like, it was shit like this, dog. It was shit like, do you start many new projects without finishing the last one? I was like, yes, 5.
Check.
Yes. And it was like, do you find it hard to pay attention to people when they're speaking to you? And I was like, yes. Because there were sometimes, dog, and this is where, now mind you, I'm a functioning human being, right? Like I could probably not get diagnosed officially and I'd be fine, right? Mm-hmm. Look, I'm living my life. I'm fucking successful. But there are times in the past where I've done shit where I'm like, why did I do that? Like, because it was rude. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Specifically, one time, me and Rick went on a meeting with this dude that worked at like an independent record label. This guy named AJ. Shout out to AJ at 6S. And I remember it happening, and I don't know why I was doing this. And afterwards, Rick was like, what the fuck is your problem? Because we're having this meeting at a restaurant, and the whole time this guy's talking to me about shit, I'm like doing this. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. Uh-huh. And I'm like cleaning the table and shit, and you can tell he's like distracted by what I'm doing. He's like kind of watching me in his periffs, like as I'm cleaning, and I'm like kind of trying to listen. I'm like acknowledging him, but afterwards, Rick is like, "What's wrong with you? Like, why couldn't you just talk to him?" I'm like, "Oh fuck, that was rude, huh?" And even recently, dog, like 6 months ago, I was on a Zoom call with somebody who works with like my financials and shit, and she's trying to tell me about my taxes, and same shit. I was in the kitchen like cleaning shit, and to the point where afterwards I texted her. I'm like, that was rude. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why I was doing that. You know what I'm saying? And I was telling Rick the questions. He's like, oh, you for sure have that shit, right? So now the goal is to just not get addicted to Adderall, I think, in my life. After they prescribe it for me.
Let me tell you something, man. I think, when it comes to like listening to people when they're telling you some serious shit, I have ADHD when it comes to my wife.
All husbands have ADHD.
She'll be saying some shit to me, and she goes, "Can I tell you about my day?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." And then next thing you know, 15 minutes pass, and I don't know where I'm at. And then she goes, "Did you hear anything I said?" I was like, "Yeah, you said." Fucking yeah. That's exactly what she gets mad at me all the time. But what I did tell her is this:
yeah,
you have to understand the type of talk you have with me and the type of talk you have with your girlfriends.
Yeah.
You can't have girlfriend talk with me, right? Because girlfriends are very good at hearing pure nonsense. Like absolute nonsense.
Right.
It's like, okay, can I tell you what happened today? All right. So I was walking Riley, our dog, and like she did this thing where I never saw her do it before. She like tilted her head and it looked like she was saying, "Hi, mommy." I don't fucking care.
David, that's adorable.
I know. To somebody else.
So my dad now at some point has crossed over, because I used to remember my dad would tell me stories and they were great. I'd crack up, right? I feel like I learned storytelling skills from my dad. Now he's kind of crossed over into old man storytelling.
Oh no.
Where he's like, he'll be telling me this story and, you know, it's like, so, you know, so then we went to the store and, you know, this guy, and I'm like, Dad, where is this story going? How long is this story? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, okay. I'm like completely zoned out, but I'm trying so hard to focus and pay attention. And that's kind of something I had to tell myself to do now. Like, even if I'm having trouble paying attention, I'm at least like trying to look like I'm paying attention. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, like just fucking focus on what these people are saying.
I think I have it too, because when there's somebody that I'm talking to that I really don't care about listening to their shit, I have to focus so hard and say, look like you're paying attention.
Yeah.
To the point where I'm talking so much to myself.
You're not even hearing them.
I'm not listening to them at all. And then there's like a fucking 3-minute gap of I don't know what the fuck they said.
Right.
It'll be like, okay, so do I got into this car accident? I'm like, all right, dude, just look like you're paying attention. Look right into the middle of his eyes, even though you're not looking into his eyes. And then they're like, my grandma died. I'm like, what the fuck happened? What happened? But they think I'm listening very intently.
Right.
But I just was talking to myself, pay attention.
And we don't even do drugs.
I know.
I don't know, man. If anything, look, I don't know what this lady's gonna say today after my consultation, but like, I feel like to get some clarification, you know, I told Rick you're gonna have my ADD meeting, and he's like, all right, congratulations, or you're finally gonna have an excuse.
Yeah.
For all your bullshit.
That's so dope, though. It's always good to have a best friend there to let you know when you're being a fucking jackass.
I think she has same shit. She's a little hesitant for me to get this diagnosis, because I think she also feels like it's gonna be me just being like, everything I do, I'm be like, oh no, it's because of my ADHD. You know, I'm gonna make sure I don't do that. Because I think for me, I don't want it to be an excuse for new things I'm doing. I just want it to be clarification for old shit that I was doing. To understand a little bit. Like, why the fuck was I so rude? I'm not a rude person. I don't want to fucking, like, zone out on people.
That's bars right there. But that's because you're a person of, we'll get right back after this break. Dudes Behind the Foods listeners, don't think that you can't learn from the best because you think you don't have access to the best. And that's where Masterclass comes in. Where do you think I get my vocal lessons from? From some random nobody on YouTube? No, we're talking about Mariah Carey herself. All I want for Christmas is you.
Wow.
See that? I'm Mariah Carey now, and I got the boobs to match, baby. Let's go. I love you, Mariah. If you're listening to this, kiss me in my mouth, but only from a distance because I'm married. Naughty girl. I want a naughty girl for Christmas. But can't you get Masterclass is the best. I've been learning so much, and let me tell you something. Just because I don't sing anymore doesn't think I don't care about it. I'm always trying to keep my vocals on point, and the Masterclass with Mariah Carey, who is a master vocalist, is the best. I have access to the best, which means I will be the best. I highly recommend you check it out. This holiday, give 1 annual membership and get 1 free. Go to masterclass.com/dudes today. That's masterclass.com/dudes. Terms apply. That's because you're a person of personal responsibility, though.
I try to be.
Which a lot of people don't have that, right? So they'll instead of looking for a reason for why they do things to better themselves, they do it to find excuses for themselves.
For why they do shitty shit.
Exactly. And I think a lot of people are like that. You see that online all the time, where now it's gotten to the point where people are misconstruing what it means to be like, oh, for example, they'll say stuff like, well, that person was just 15 years old. It's like 100%, but they're 15-year-olds now. So you still have to address the problem. They
Right.
still have to be reprimanded and fix it. It doesn't mean that they can't change.
Or I'll take it next level. Or they'll be like, yeah, I shitted on this guy's lawn, but I'm a Scorpio.
Yeah. This used to fucking irritate people who do like the horoscope shit. They're like, I always start this thing. They're like, oh, I so believe in horoscopes, which I'm fine with, right? And I think like even for some people, it's like a religious thing too. But people who do it casually because it's just the hot thing to do, they go, oh my God, like I hate it when people fucking, they hear one thing about you, they think they know everything about you. I was like, what's your sign? They're like, I'm a Scorpio. I'm like, yeah, shut the fuck up then. That's exactly what you're doing.
Here's what I used to love to do. Whenever somebody would be like, oh, that zodiac shit is so stupid, right? Especially the homies that like had a little bit of a following. I would Google their birthday, and let's say like someone said that and they're like, I don't know, fucking Gemini or whatever. Google their birthday, look up their sign, I'd be like, that's exactly what a Gemini would say. It's such a Gemini thing to say.
Best thing I've ever done was when like somebody guessed my shit. I was like, why don't you guess what I am? And they're like, dude, clearly you're like a Scorpio. They'll say some shit, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad, that's exactly what I am.
Right.
And I keep talking about it. Yeah, because I saw this. I'm like, I'm actually an Aries, you idiot. Because it's just like confirmation bias.
Yeah.
Because you could see a lot of the general stuff that anybody could attach themselves to.
Yeah.
It's like, you have a hard time falling asleep. And then be like, oh, you know, a couple weeks ago, I did have a hard time falling asleep. Or it'd be like some shit like that.
Well, you're not looking at your rising and your moon.
That is the worst thing now.
No, it makes sense.
When that shit came out, now it's just like everything.
Well, yeah, because it's true.
Okay, listen to me, beanie boy. All right, which I found out I do not look good in beanies.
No?
Nope, I look like a Ninja Turtle, and I've tried it multiple times, and I'm like, how do I put on this beanie? And I shit you fucking not. One time, I googled Tim wearing a beanie. I was like, how does Tim wear a beanie? And
I've changed it up over the years.
So I wore my beanie, and it looks like I'm gonna rob somebody every time.
You know, here's what's funny, right? Is that early YouTube days, I was always doing this with my beanies. It was always right here. Because I felt like I looked silly when I did this. And then at some point in time, bringing it all the way down kind of just worked on my round ass head. It just worked.
Well, I just recently bought 3 beanies, and I have to return them.
Well, give them to me.
Because I look like legit a colored condom. For some reason, it just, maybe I have to slim my face a little more, but it just makes it too circular. You know what I mean? I just look like I'm going to rob somebody.
Try with a hoodie. Try with a hoodie next time.
Because I like beanies because they're so warm.
And they're just an easy...
Yeah, because like, I'll wear a beanie if I'm going to like the snow. Because I don't care what I look like. It's just warm as shit. Like I need it.
Yeah.
So, but recently I've been trying to wear things that I don't typically like.
Right.
I'm like, just try it out.
Yeah.
Because you just don't know.
You never know.
And I put it on and I laughed when I saw myself on it. And that was a bad sign where I laughed.
You know why the beanies probably don't look right yet? Because you're an Aries. So
I know the comments. Of course you're an Aries, David.
you know what's okay? Here's what's funny, dog. Because I'm not super into the zodiac shit, but I kind of am, right? I look into it here and
It's
there.
fun though. I'll tell you that. It's fucking fun as shit.
And it was here's a fucking first date tip for all my young dating men out there. The zodiac shit is always a good thing to bring up because it can go both ways, and both ways it'll work for your favor, okay? You can either be like this. You throw it out there, not knowing if she's into it or not, jokingly. Like, if we're on a date, I'm like, all right, so what's your sign, right? Like you fucking don't believe it. And then if she's into it, she's like, oh my God, I'm like a Scorpio, what are you? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm a Pisces, I'm not super into it, whatever. And then you can start this conversation of like, oh, are we compatible? I always do that. I'm like, oh, okay, well, like, are our signs compatible? And then you can start this whole conversation of like, if you guys will date and make babies and shit. But if they're not into it, they're like, oh, I don't really look into that shit. I'm a Scorpio. I'm like, yeah, me neither. I don't know. I'm a Pisces. Like, what does that even mean? And you can make fun of it together. And you can still be like, oh, are we compatible? Google it. Oh, according to this, we have great butt sex or whatever, right? And it's either way, it's a great conversation starter for you two together.
See, I think that is the biggest difference between me and you is that you're very good at like creating these scenarios and you have like these specific like turnkey moves. I would not have that. I would just go in just like, let's see what I can do today. You know what I mean? And it makes it so hard because you just have way more misses that way versus having something that's an initial icebreaker that works with you.
Right.
And I never had that. I would just walk in and it's like, okay, let me see if I can make her laugh. Let's see what she finds funny. And then I would try to work that around. But if you can't catch it, it just falls apart.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Okay, look, as I don't know if this is gonna come off cringy, especially today in like today's topic, like how we would discuss dating and like I don't know, like a quote unquote like pickup technique or whatever. But when I was having fun dating like casually, there were like a handful of things I would do on like every date because I knew it was gonna get a laugh and I knew it was cute, and I knew they were good icebreakers, right? For one, it was like the casually bringing up sign shit, zodiac shit. Another one was if we were watching a movie or something like that. Have I ever told you about this? The popcorn trick?
You might have, but I might have forgotten.
Let's do it again. Okay, let's say these wings are popcorn, right? We have wings. Okay.
Vegan wings?
Yeah, I got no regular wings.
Thank God.
Okay, so let's say we're at the movies and we have this delicious popcorn in the middle of the in between us, right? We're sitting at the movies, and then so the whole time I'm watching the movie or the play or whatever, if I see you reach for it, I have you in my periffs and I do this. Oh my God. Wow. Did we just, oh my God, we just had a moment. And then I'm like, all right, well, okay, well here, now we can just hold hands. We've already blah, blah, blah. So now we can hold hands because like we've crossed that shit. It's goofy. It's a goofy moment. And now it's like you've crossed this like physical.
It's kind of working on me.
Yeah, right? And then you cut a hole in the bottom of it, put your dick here.
Why is she bobbing for popcorn?
But, so that's one thing I would always do because it was funny. And then if the chemistry was popping, okay, this is what I would do. Okay, this is like so dumb, but it was always cute, all right? I would get like, let's say we're eating at fucking Chili's or CPK or wherever the fuck we're eating at. They would always have a bottle of like ketchup or hot sauce on the table, right? So if there was ever, you know, a little like a appropriate moment to just randomly bring this up, I'd be like, I'd grab the hot sauce and be like, oh, let's play spin the bottle. I would take it and I would spin it, and it's just funny because it's stupid, right? Let's spin the bottle, and I would do it. I'm like, okay, nope. Oh, we got a kiss.
That's very good. My technique's way different. I would take hot sauce, right?
Yeah.
And then I would accidentally put it in their eye. And they go, oh my God. And I was like, I have to take you to emergency now. And I would nurse them for a week. And then I would become their friend. And then 5 years later, they start dating another guy. And then I get really sad. I start writing R&B music. They break up. I swoop back in. I do the spin the bottle thing, right? I get hot sauce in their eye again.
Okay.
And then I become her friend again. And then I wait another 5 years.
Okay.
And then I write a song called Nice Guys Finish Last.
Did it work?
No.
Okay, well, check this out. Here's another thing. Here's another thing, okay? You take her on the first date.
Yes.
Right? You guys go to medieval times.
Perfect.
Okay? You got the knights running around.
Lovely.
Fucking damsel in distress, right? Okay? But then you go, whoa. Did this horse get consent to be riding around for your show? And she's like, oh my God, he loves animals like me.
Wow.
You jump down. You fucking, the knight takes his sword out. He's like, don't you touch my fucking horse, Chino. And then you're like, nice, dude, because you paid him $100 before the show.
This is so good. Anybody who hasn't dated before, write notes.
Take all this down right now.
Take all of it down.
You take out your fucking gun that's loaded with blanks, okay? And you're like, you a bitch, bro. You gonna bring a fucking sword to a gunfight? Shoot him, right? But oops, the blank wasn't a blank. It's a real bullet. Goes into the knight's heart. He's dead.
Whoa.
No one calls the police because they think it's all part of the show.
Whoa.
Standing ovation. Whoa.
Wow.
Medieval times is lit now. What the fuck happened, right?
Wow.
She's impressed because she thinks you killed this knight to save this horse, right? You guys go back home.
Yes.
You kiss her on the cheek.
Wow.
She lays in the bed. She takes her panties off, but not her jeans. Keeps her jeans on.
How?
scissors,
Amazing.
cuts the side of the panties, takes them out. Okay, she's fucking ready.
2 pieces.
Cut 2 parts of the panties, take them off in 2 pieces like this, throws them out the window of the hotel balcony because that's where you're at, and then she's ready. She wants it.
This is hot. This is so hot.
I know. She's fucking horny for your night killing dick, right?
Okay.
But then you kiss her on the forehead.
Wow.
You say, "No, I respect you." You leave, make her pay for the hotel. Never talk to her again.
Dude, I've never been so horny in my life. That is amazing.
And that's how you get the perfect first date.
This is crazy.
And that's how I met Chia.
I've been doing it wrong the whole time. I've been doing the 5-year hot sauce bottle turn, wait, 5-year hot sauce bottle turn for so long.
I used to do that. And then I was like, this doesn't work.
Oh, wow, dude. I had fucked up, man. Oh, see, I should use sriracha. It's because I used the Tabasco.
Yeah, man.
Dude, man, let me tell you something. You guys will never get dating advice like this from literally anywhere. This is unique.
You guys are fucking reading dumbass like books by Steve Harvey and shit. You
I
gotta
know.
listen to this shit, man.
Dude, let me tell you something. Have you guys heard of this company called ECBC?
That's where we got all our tips from.
100%, dude. I used to get tips from these 2 brothers on YouTube. Nah. Hey, let me tell you something.
It's 2023.
I know. Listen, I realized this about myself. Where I grew up just having to be roasted and roasting so much.
Yeah.
It just is a part of who I am.
Yeah.
And if I like dislike something that somebody does, we'll just like jab all the time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Doesn't mean I personally hate them.
Right.
It's just I hate what they do.
Uh-huh.
So that's all that it is. Right. So next year, I'm gonna work on my positivity. All right. I told this guy, just like how he has his album shit that he's always going to do every year. I've told him every year that I'm going to be less of me and then work on being more positive. But then it's so hard because my positivity is negativity.
Well, great. Now you make me feel like I'm never gonna finish my album because as you were saying that, I'm like, this fool's never gonna be positive.
You know what? One of my friends said it the best. He goes, "You're the only person I know that I love hearing being negative." I was like, why is that? Because when most people are negative, their objective isn't to be funny. They're just
whining and
they're
griping.
just whining. He was like, your objective when you talk shit is just to make us laugh.
Right.
Like it has nothing to do with you hating people. It's just like, that's just how we grew up in Sacramento and you still do it now. And that's why it's so funny. Because I think like as we get older, we kind of tell ourselves like, oh, this is unacceptable. I have progressively gotten worse.
That's why I was pissed at your fucking Pretty Boy sweater video because nobody was talking shit. I'm like, y'all are whack, bro.
Hey, that Charlie Brown thing got my ass though. That shit made me fucking cry laughing.
I was gonna say, what were you talking about? Positivity, talking shit.
Hot sauce.
It doesn't matter, but yeah, man. I think it's important to talk some shit, but it's all out of love, as long as you're doing it out of love, David. So
It's all out of love.
is it though?
I'm so lost without you. What song is that?
I don't know what the
Who the fuck sings that?
I don't know what the hook is.
It's I'm all out of love. Where am I without you? Can't be too late.
Who's
Who
that?
sings
Who's
that?
that?
Who's
by?
that?
I have to look that up.
You know what? You want to hear some crazy shit, dog?
What?
That I learned from TikTok that Rick sent me. So I swear. My love is not
All for One,
in the
right?
sky. All for One, yes. So the same year that song came out, I want to say now correct me if I'm wrong here in the comments if you've seen this TikTok, but within a couple months, a country version of that song came out. The exact same song, written by the same guy, of course, and both of them charted. R&B, All for One.
I never heard the country one.
Dude, it's the same shit, just country. I Swear country version and I Swear R&B version both fucking charted that year. And
Two different artists?
two different artists. I'll play it for you right now. And and no one really like batted an eye. It was just kind of like, oh, okay, cool.
How did they work that out?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I forget exactly what the TikTok said. Okay, I'm gonna play a little bit of this for you, and then I'll give you the fucking. Okay. It's literally the same song.
Dude,
Yeah.
this right here is a sup, baby girl. Don't make me spin this hot sauce bottle on this table.
Oh, keep going.
You know I'm gonna get that shit in your eye and take you to the ER. And then 5 years later, I'm gonna take you to a night show and then we gon' fucking joust.
I see the questions.
Get the fuck out of here!
I know what's weighing on your mind.
So it's the exact same song, just a country version, right?
It sounds so good as a country song.
Oh, so here's the fucking kicker, my guy. So All For One, they don't have a lot of hits, right? But they also, I don't know if you've heard the I Can Love You Like That.
Also a classic.
I can give you my all. That same year, the same shit, a country version of that song came out. Also fucking was a hit.
Who is this writer that's double dipping like a motherfucker?
I don't know. I forget. Like, so there's a TikTok that shares all the fucking facts about this shit, but the exact same thing happened, and it's crazy.
Wow. You want to hear another kicker?
Yeah.
Dude, you know the song, this is how... It's the country version of it.
There's a Korean country version.
This is how we do it. I don't know how to do Korean country. Yeah, it's a motherfucker. Oh, All For One is the shit, dude.
All For One is the shit. David So is the shit. Tim Chantarangsu, that's me. I am the shit. Dudes behind the foods, we are the shit.
Chin.
Wow, look at you. Look how different you look in that picture.
I didn't even shave. I have all my little whiskers and shit.
And that was just a year ago, dog.
This was quite a while ago.
What the fuck?
It's 2 years ago.
Oh, right. This was from a photo shoot we did for Send Foods. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. This was the one we were in studio.
That's right. The season everyone hated.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
The one that I said it was going to be a bad idea.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you have a Merry Christmas in a few days. Thanks for watching. Be safe.
Yeah, man. Happy holidays. If you're out there, do not drink and drive. And make sure for all the people that you hated this year, for next year, continue to hate them because they don't deserve your love.
Yes, just keep it to yourself because we're trying to be positive.
Yes. Shout outs to Fang Bros. They are amazing.
Love you. Bye.
Yo, it's the dudes.